Bluey is full of incredible characters, but very few people notice that there are celebrities among them. Do you know the celebrities who appeared in this cartoon? We'll go ahead and tell you right now that many of these characters are truly surprising, with one example being Queen Elizabeth II. That's right, the former Queen of the United Kingdom, who remained on the throne for many decades before passing away in 2022, already made an appearance in Bluey. But relax, she never actually met the little blue pup in person or anything like that. Her appearance was on a banknote because Australian money featured Elizabeth II's face on it for a very long time due to England's strong connection with Australia, which used to be one of its colonies. But the best detail in this image, without a doubt, is the fact that Elizabeth is a corgi in this universe. That was the Queen's favorite dog breed in real life, to the point where she adopted several corgis throughout her life. She's just one of the 16 celebrities you didn't know appeared in Bluey. It's time to have fun with us in another Cinewave. In the episode Tradies, Bluey and Bingo keep an eye on two workers who are doing construction work at the Healer House. One of these characters is Chippy, who spends the entire story trying to work things out with his girlfriend. What almost nobody noticed is that he's voiced by a famous Australian animator named Sam Cotton, who has over 1 million followers on Instagram. Yep, there are a bunch of celebrities voicing different characters in Bluey. Actually, Chippy's partner, Sparky, is also voiced by someone famous. His name is Mick Malloy, and he's a comedian well known for hosting a show called The Front Bar, which focuses on Australian football. At first glance, that might sound pretty random, but believe it or not, most of these special appearances are completely random. When you think about it though, it actually makes perfect sense for him to have a cameo in Bluey, since the show takes a lot of pride in its Australian roots, and that's exactly why many of the guest appearances are done by celebrities who are part of Australian media. And if you think we're joking, just know that you're about to change your mind very soon. Copycat starts off as just another silly Bluey episode, but it quickly turns into something much deeper when the little blue pup and her dad find an injured bird and take it to a veterinary clinic, only to discover that the animal arrived too late and passed away. The veterinarian who appeared in this episode was played by Stephanie Bendixson. She's an Australian artist heavily connected to the gaming world, having hosted a gaming show called Good Game. She's also a Twitch streamer with 47,000 followers, and on top of that, she's a book author. Chili's mom never had much focus in Bluey because she had already passed away, but she appeared in one of Chili's memories in the episode Dragon, and was voiced by Kate Miller-Heidke, a singer who even represented Australia itself at Eurovision 2019, a multinational song competition that brings together many countries from Europe, as well as a few others like Israel and of course, Australia. If there's anyone who deserves to have a cameo in this show, it's definitely Kate Miller-Heidke. In fact, if Chili's mom returns in another flashback later in the series, then this singer will definitely come back too, and that would be amazing. Of course, unless she gets replaced by another voice actress. Actually, Chili herself is played by a celebrity. Her name is Melanie Zanetti, an actress who has appeared in several romantic comedies and even horror movies, which just proves how talented she is, because let's be honest, Bluey has very little romance and absolutely no horror. The truth is that after the show was released, she became way more famous than she already was, but there's no denying that Melanie is definitely a celebrity nowadays. And just so you know, Chili and her mom are far from being the only members of this family voiced by celebrities. But before we talk about even more celebrities in Bluey, how about leaving a comment down below with #famous and telling us which celebrity should appear in this cartoon? Even Bandit himself is played by someone famous, and that someone's name is David McCormick. In his case, he was already famous long before becoming the voice of Bluey's dad, since he's the lead singer of a very famous Australian rock band called Custard. It's no surprise that several episodes make references to this, putting Bandit in musical situations to remind us that his actor is a very talented musician. Could the drumming skills Bingo showed when she went to the music store actually come from Bandit's secret musical talents and the abilities of his voice actor? Moving on to a more distant part of the Healer family, we have Aunt Trixie, the wife of Bandit's brother, Stripe. She's voiced by Myf Warhurst, a very well-known radio host who is especially famous for also hosting Spicks and Specks, a music trivia game show. Looks like the Healer family really does have a special connection to music, huh? In fact, this isn't the only character in the cartoon voiced by Myf Warhurst, since she also voiced Indy's mom, Bluey's friend who doesn't eat wheat, gluten, sugar, salt, and a bunch of other things. For a long time, Frisky was just one of Chili's close friends. However, after marrying Uncle Rad, another one of Bandit's brothers, she officially became part of the Healer family. This must have been planned from the very beginning because several Healers are played by famous people, and Frisky is voiced by Claudia O'Doherty, who is also very well known as an actress who appeared in successful American series like Killing It and Love. And yes, before you ask, none of these shows are even remotely similar to Bluey, proving that practically every actor voicing characters in this children's cartoon is more than capable of acting in completely different kinds of productions. Honestly, that might even be one of the biggest reasons why Bluey became so successful in the first place. Uncle Rad is another one who deserves to be on this list, and for one very simple reason. His voice belongs to Patrick Brammall, an actor and writer who co-created a romantic comedy series called Colin from Accounts. He's also very well known for playing Sean Moody in the comedy series A Moody Christmas, so we can safely say that he works a lot and is only going to appear in more and more projects over the next few years. He'll probably also appear even more in the next season of Bluey, because we need to know what his life looks like now that he and Frisky are married. Now let's go back to talking about less important Bluey characters who are secretly celebrity cameos from Australia or even from other parts of the world. In The Quiet Game, we meet Alfie, a nervous young guy on his very first day of work. Besides being super charismatic and hardworking, Alfie is played by Robert Irwin, the son of Steve Irwin, an Australian wildlife expert who became a television celebrity and was known around the world as the Crocodile Hunter. He even hosted his own show about animal life. Sadly, Steve Irwin lost his life in 2006 after his chest was pierced by a stingray barb during the filming of a documentary. His son, Robert Irwin, honors his legacy today by running his family's zoo and taking part in several different television programs. What's funny is that there's another hidden celebrity in this episode, Alfie's boss, who also appears here. He's played by Mark Fennell, an Australian journalist who hosts a television quiz show called Mastermind. At this point, it's basically impossible to guess which Bluey character is being played by a celebrity. It could literally be anyone, and the only thing we can do is try our luck and hope we pick the right character. But figuring out on your own which celebrity is voicing the character is a challenge if you don't recognize their voice, because it could be pretty much any famous person born in Australia.
Want to keep having fun with us? Then subscribe and turn on the notification bell.
Did you think that after talking about Alfie's boss, we were going to move on to a character from another episode? Well, you were wrong, because even Alfie's mom is voiced by someone famous. This time, we're talking about Caitlin Hill, a very old-school YouTuber. Seriously, she's been making YouTube videos since before most Bluey fans were even born, to the point where she was one of the first people to join the YouTube Partner Program back in 2007, which was about 19 years ago already. Thinking about that for too long might give an existential crisis to anyone who's been alive since 2007 and remembers that time like it was yesterday. Bluey is surrounded by famous people, and if for some reason you still haven't realized that, then just know that her neighbor fits into that category too. Wendy, Judo's mom, is played by Emily Tahini, an actress, singer, and comedian known for her many appearances on Comedy Inc., a comedy television series that aired between 2003 and 2007. She was a regular cast member on a news satire program called Sean McAuliffe's Mad as Hell, and we also can't forget to mention her role as Kat in The Jesters, a 2009 series also focused on comedy. You can tell she absolutely loves comedy, so it's actually kind of ironic that her character in Bluey is more serious than Bandit and Chili, always getting weirded out by the strange games the two of them play with their daughters. Remember Rusty, the little red dog who loves cricket? His mom is also voiced by a celebrity named Jane Hall. She's also an actress and comedian, with her best-known roles being Jess Morrison in A Country Practice, Anna Summer in All Together Now, and Rebecca Napier in Neighbors. Two of those productions are soap operas, while one of them is a sitcom, showing that she clearly has her own preferences when it comes to acting. When you think about it, Bluey may be a children's cartoon, but its focus on family and emotional drama are things often seen in sitcoms and soap operas, so maybe Jane Hall feels right at home working on this series, even if her character doesn't get much screen time. Finally, we have the Terrier's mom. She never really got much focus, but she was introduced in the episode TV Shop and is voiced by Carrie Bickmore, a famous television host who was one of the original presenters of The Project, an Australian talk show that became extremely successful and won several awards over the years. The next step is right in front of you. 2 fun-filled videos waiting for your click. Thanks, and see you soon.